The Clockmaker's Orchard. Every spring, the orchard behind Silas Wren's clock shop bloomed in strange, ticking harmony. No one in the town of Marrowpine really knew why. They just accepted it, like they accepted the fact that Silas had arrived one foggy morning 37 years ago and had never aged a day since. The trees in his orchard didn't bear fruit, not apples or cherries or even pears, but small, bronze pocket watches that grew like plums. They glittered under the moonlight and made soft ticking noises as they swayed in the wind. No one was allowed to pick them. Not until they fall, Silas always said, polishing the same brass timepiece every morning. You must never rush time. Then one year, spring came, and nothing ticked. The trees were bare. The orchard was silent. That's when the dreams started. Every night, people all over Marrowpine saw a tall, faceless figure wandering their streets, turning invisible dials in the air. In these dreams, they couldn't move, only watch as the figure adjusted something, then vanished. When they awoke, clocks would be off by minutes, sometimes hours. A girl named Lila, daughter of the town's baker, had one such dream. But in hers, the figure turned and looked directly at her. She saw its face, or rather, its lack of one, and somehow understood, time itself was breaking. So, Lila did something no one had ever done. She entered Silas's orchard in the dead of night, climbed the oldest tree, and plucked a single golden watch that hadn't yet fallen. It screamed, and then the world paused. Literally. Birds froze mid-air. Leaves hung still in the wind. Waves stopped crashing. Even thought felt sluggish. Only Lila could move. And Silas, who appeared beside her with a soft click. "You've broken the rule," he said quietly. But his voice didn't sound angry. It sounded relieved. "Then fix it," she whispered, holding out the golden watch. Silas smiled sadly and took it from her. "No, you fix it. The orchard has chosen its new clockmaker." As he faded into mist, the orchard began to tick once more. Want to continue the story? Or do you want a different vibe or genre for the next one? You said, "Continue and I want different vibe." ChatGPT said, "Alright, let's shift the vibe." The first part had a dreamy, mysterious tone. Now let's twist it into something weirder, more whimsical. Think magical realism meets low-key cosmic horror. Lila's story continues, but now the world starts unraveling in strange, almost absurd ways. The Clockmaker's Orchard, Part 2, The Gears Beneath. It started with Tuesday. Tuesday wouldn't leave. The day arrived as usual, with bread baking and birdsong, but it just stayed. No Wednesday, no Thursday, just Tuesday, over and over again. Each repetition was slightly off. The mayor's hat changed color. The river flowed backward for 20 minutes. A new bakery showed up across from Lila's father's, with an identical baker named Ilal. He claimed he'd always been the baker's real daughter. By the fourth Tuesday, Lila noticed numbers fading. Clocks no longer struck 12. Then 11 vanished. 10 was half there. Calendars turned to static. Time was decaying. Lila spent her days in the orchard now. Watches still fell, but they burst into clouds of moths when they hit the ground. She tried making a watch of her own, just as Silas had once done. She shaped gears from acorns, carved hands from moonlight, stitched springs out of spider silk. It ticked, but in reverse. Each tick unremembered something. She forgot her mother's face, then the taste of cinnamon, then how to read. The town forgot things too. Eventually, people began replacing words with gestures, gestures with colors, and colors with sounds. It was a mess of synesthetic language, like everyone was dreaming while awake. Then the sky split open. Not dramatically, more like the lazy unzipping of an old coat. A long, silent tear revealed a giant eye, wide and blinking, watching them like a scientist watches ants through glass. Lila didn't scream. She bowed. "Are you? Time?" she asked. The eye blinked once. Slowly. "No," came the answer. Not a voice, exactly, but a vibration in her teeth. "You are, or you will be, if you fix the spiral." She looked behind her. The orchard was spiraling now, trees curving inward toward a black hole at its center. Every watch ticked at a different speed. Every tick echoed with a memory not hers. "Spiral," she whispered.
How?
"Wind the beginning," said the eye. "But beware. You can only rewind so much before you unravel yourself." Then the sky zipped shut.